Qualcomm stock investors got some great news recently as the company's management team elaborated on their success in the several categories that are important for its long-term success. So in this video, I'll cover those elements and what it could mean for Qualcomm stock investors. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now. So Qualcomm told investors that they continue to strengthen their position in automotive as the industry's leading technology partner for the software-defined vehicle, AI-powered in-cabin systems, advanced driver assistance, and connected car experiences. And that's really good news for Qualcomm stock investors because more and more so car buyers are looking for advanced technology in their vehicles. People are spending more time in their cars as traffic times and commute times are expanding in the largest cities in the world. I live in Los Angeles, and you can't imagine the traffic in this city. If you don't live here, you probably can't imagine how driving just 4 miles can take 30 minutes in how congested the city is, and then looking for parking, etc. So people want more from their cars because they're spending more time in their cars. And that's helping a company like Qualcomm, which is in the epicenter of this category. Now, advanced driver assistance, that's almost like driverless car technology. And there's going to be incremental steps between now and when we actually have driverless cars more broadly available, not just in a few select cities worldwide. And those are things like assistance with parallel parking, assistance with, maybe advanced cruise control, things of that nature, advanced safety systems. And so a company like Qualcomm will help bridge that gap, and they're in an excellent position to do so. Their automotive segment is growing very quickly. They're expanding partnerships, and they've had deals with many of the large companies that are producing these vehicles. Now, one of their reasons for the success in the automotive category is that they're complementing the hardware with software of the Snapdragon digital chassis. The Workbench provides a complete development and test environment to build and deploy automotive applications. So this makes its offering more attractive to manufacturers because they can have developer teams utilizing the Qualcomm operating system to help integrate into the vehicle. And so that's one of the reasons why Nvidia has had great success in the AI data center space is because of its software that goes along with its hardware. So businesses more often now are looking for this software layer to stack on top of the hardware that they buy from companies like Qualcomm, and they are providing that, and that's leading to success for Qualcomm. In another bit of good news for Qualcomm, ARM recently notified them that it was withdrawing its October 2024 notice of breach and indicated that it has no current plan to terminate the Qualcomm architecture license agreement. So this was a risk looming over Qualcomm, and it was great to hear that ARM notified them that it was withdrawing the notice of breach. ARM, of course, licenses proprietary technology, and it was quarreling with Qualcomm, and now it withdrew that complaint, and now things are back to normal relations between ARM and Qualcomm. In their latest quarter, Qualcomm announced revenues of $11.7 billion and earnings per share of $3.41, which were above the high end of their guidance. So, of course, Qualcomm investors were pleased. Management said they were going to deliver a certain amount of revenue and a certain amount of profits for the quarter, and they exceeded even the higher end of their guidance. So they gave investors a range. They said it's going to be between 1 and 5, right? And then they actually delivered 7. So investors were pleasantly surprised that Qualcomm beat even its own expectations. And that's kind of the way it's been going for Qualcomm. It's been exceeding expectations across categories, especially in handsets. Their handset revenue hit a record $7.6 billion with 13% growth, reflecting higher volume and content increase in Android premium tier, driven by its industry-leading performance and their newly launched Snapdragon 8 Elite platform. If you don't already know, the handset segment, the smartphone segment, is saturated. It's not growing, it's flat. And the expectations are that the industry might grow by 1 to 3% this year in terms of unit growth. But where Qualcomm is benefiting is that within the smartphone segment, the number of units are not increasing, but people are increasing the amount of money they're spending on smartphones because they're trading up to more premium smartphones. And those more premium smartphones have more content components, have more components inside, because that's how you get a premium smartphone. You infuse it with more technology, you make it more capable, a better camera, better battery life, a better modem, better connectivity, better screen. So all of those make for a more expensive smartphone, and all of those require more components inside. And those components, by the way, are higher priced components. And so it's increasing the average revenue per component that Qualcomm is selling. And they're selling more components because the more premium phones require more components. So Qualcomm benefiting from that, taking market share away from lower priced phones, which benefits Qualcomm to be sure. And the fact that Android is gaining market share in the industry is also great news for Qualcomm because its relationship with Apple is on its way to end over the next year or two. And so it benefits Qualcomm to have Android phones, Samsung phones, to become more successful and have more market share, because those are relationships that can go on beyond this next year or two and benefit Qualcomm for the very long run, to offset some of those declines it might experience because of the loss of the relationship where Qualcomm was selling the modems that went into some of Apple's iPhones, and their plan to slowly transition away from Qualcomm modems and then be completely off of Qualcomm modems by 2026 or 2027. So again, more good news for Qualcomm in a surprising fashion. The automotive industry, I understand, because that industry is growing because of the increased technology that's going inside the industry. But Qualcomm gaining significant double-digit revenue growth in the handset industry, which is a saturated market, is impressive to me. And I've been impressed with Qualcomm's latest results, partly why I've had Qualcomm stock rated as a buy, and I've been recommending it to my viewers for a little over a year now. Hey everyone, I'm excited to announce that my book is finally available for sale. I've been working on it for more than a year now, so I'm really excited to finally share this with you now. It goes through my framework for evaluating stocks. Some of you often ask why I like this stock or why I like the other stock, and this framework provides you the things that I look at when I'm evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.